Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Chap here. Coming at you with game number 3 of this third, fourth place match. We got games 3 and 4 of the third, fourth place match coming up. Since they're tied at 1 apiece. So there is definitely going to be at least a game number 4. If XellOs wins 2 in a row, he will win. If GoRush wins 2 in a row, he will win. But, excuse me, but there has to be at least 2 more games in order to get that magic number 3 that you need to win. There we got GoRush. In his T1 jacket, he's going to be the Zerg on the left side of the map. Excuse me. XellOs is our Terran player on the top right hand side of the map. This is on Luna. This is the map. And this is the third, fourth place match, by the way, of the 2005 ever OSL. And I am so excited because this is turning out to be a really, really awesome series. Such absolute amazing games here going on between these two titans of StarCraft. And we got at least a couple more games between them as well. And then we're going to have a fantastic finals as well. We're going to have July Zerg versus Good Friend. And that is going to be some more TVZ action. I hope you all like TVZ, because there's been a lot of TVZ already in this Star League. We got more in this match, and we got more in the finals as well. So we got some good stuff going on here. I like TVZ. TVZ's fun. In any case, GoRush looking to at least get a third place match after, get a third place finish after his MSL win recently. Probably a little bit disappointed to not be in the finals. You know, this is kind of his time to potentially shine, and so he's not quite going to get the double finals. It's always cool to get that little. It's not a hat trick. What would you call it? What's below a hat trick? Like a beanie trick, or like a scarf trick? What would be getting 2 in a row would be a scarf trick, maybe? Because a hat trick is always 3, right? 3 or something? Anyway. Why is it called a hat trick? Is that some sort of old magician's term or something? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to have XellOs building his second barracks as well, as GoRush getting his spawning pool down. So just normal stuff here going on. Pretty normal for 2005 at least. 2 barracks, a little bit less standard in the modern day, or even a few years after this was played. But very, very standard. But we're seeing some really cool. I'm glad that we're seeing some interesting variation as well. Good Friend was just going 2 barracks aggression every single game in the last Star League. A lot of Terrans were going just 2 barracks aggression. And now we're seeing some variations here. Good Friend getting into the finals by varying it up a little bit. And now we're seeing XellOs as well. 2 barracks doing 1 barracks aggression into 2 barracks expansion. Now we're going to see him do the same thing again, actually. 2 barracks into an expansion. So he's going to be setting himself up for the long victory, potentially. Little Kakaroo flying through. I've been seeing a lot of cool birds, by the way. I've never seen something that quite looks like a Kakaroo, but I've seen some pretty interesting birds. I've been driving up the coast, and there's some really cool birds on the coast. Random thought. My mind is in nature a little bit because I've been, going through like redwood forests and seeing ocean vistas and stuff. It's been really fun. It's been really beautiful landscapes I've been able to check out. So my mind is kind of in nature. So when I see the Kakaroo, my mind gets distracted from StarCraft and I start thinking about ospreys or oyster catchers or other kinds of cool birds that I've seen. I'm actually not much of a bird person. The only reason I know what oyster catchers are is because I have a friend who's a bird person, and if I text them a picture of a bird I saw, she'll identify and tell me what it is. Because it's not like, she enjoys it. She loves seeing just random pictures of birds. So it's not like I'm like bugging her with all these bird pictures all the time. But it's like having an app, a bird identification app, basically. Except it's a person. It's like a bird. Imagine if there were apps where like it was actually like a person on the other end that was like operating what you saw in the app. That would defeat the purpose of apps, wouldn't it? Anyway, we do have XellOs doing a similar build to what we saw before, following up the command center with production of forces and looking to be putting on some pressure. It's got quite a distance to go on this map, cross positions on this map. I think I mentioned this is Luna. And so it's going to be difficult to put in any pressure, though, especially with the Spire completing here in a moment. GoRush not being too greedy, not getting a third base just yet. Going for the 2 barracks into, I'm sorry, the 2 base into the Spire. Putting down some creep colonies. Little puzzled by that, that he's making Sunkens as well. You know, this is the kind of thing, you can't blame GoRush. I wouldn't call it a mistake, right? It's not a mistake, but it's just like an observation that, like, if this was 2020, I don't think Zergs would be making those. They might be making the colonies, but they wouldn't be morphing the Sunkens, right? Because if you're morphing the Sunken colony, you know, you've got a couple colonies, right? And you're not morphing the Sunkens, you're saving 100 minerals. Those 100 minerals could be making a couple drones, and those drones could be mining the minerals necessary to make them into Sunkens later, and then you're ahead in economy by cutting that corner. So a little bit surprising to see that, and this is kind of interesting. So he's got Milos out, but this third base is going to be forced to be canceled, I believe. He's going in with Milos, trying to harass these forces. Yeah, he's going to have to cancel that. I don't think there's any way he can defend that right now. So GoRush going for a little bit of a dangerous spot for his third base, and is going to pay the price for it. It was a little bit hidden as well, so he might have been trying to count on XellOs not seeing it. He does cancel, and now the Milos are in XellOs' main though, just starting to get some kills, and this is kind of an interesting situation. XellOs has a lot of his forces out on the map. Now is when, you know, or earlier when that force moved out is when he would have wanted to morph those Sunkens. So he already has the Sunkens though. He actually, because he canceled that hatchery, he doesn't lose too much. He loses the time is the most important thing. The time that it takes to morph that hatchery in order to go ahead and, you know, start mining from it eventually. But in any case, GoRush does have a significant meter count out now. He got caught a little bit before the meters were really grouped up and multitudinous when he lost that third base. You kind of saw him go in with like 4 or 5 meters and try and like pretend to defend it, but it didn't really work. And oh, this SCV is going to sneak right on through that Zergling barricade and is going to go ahead and scout out that top left base. The Mutas do polish off the SCV, but it's too late. It's too late. Patrick Stewart has seen everything. That was that SCV's name, Patrick Stewart. And I'm making a lot of weird references in this series, aren't I? It's a reference to another weird comedy sketch where Patrick Stewart is talking about... Wasn't that Patrick Stewart, right? He's talking about... Anyway, maybe I shouldn't talk about that. TOS. Well, I guess it's not TOS to talk about lewd things, is it? But I'll skip it anyway. So XellOs actually forces a cancel on that top left base as well. GoRush is not really getting a lot done with these Mutalisks. He's doing some harassment. He's killed a few SCVs, but he's just kind of flying around in circles, not actually getting much done. He's going to take some turret fire on the way out here and not really get too much. And he wasn't able to defend any of his bases with that as well, or either with the Milos. He has at least kept XellOs kind of occupied long enough that he's able to get out lurkers. So now these lurkers, I think, you know, if he could get some lurkers on a ramp and put a base above that, now we're talking. Now we're cooking. Now we're... you know, that's something that you can defend and not have to worry too much. If, you know, if they don't have vessels out yet, and you have 3 lurkers, you can pile 3 lurkers on top of a ramp. There's no way the Terran's getting up that ramp, right? So if they do, it's going to cost just way too much to be worth it. So The lurkers are solid. He's just getting to third base now. Where is the third base? That can't actually see where that third base is. Oh no, the Mila's caught out. A lot of damage being done there. Oh, but he baits him into the lurkers. That's the Milas were bait. The lurkers doing the damage. The Milas coming in are going to clean up the rest of the Marines that survived the lurker attack as well. Beautifully done. I didn't even see the lurkers there. They blend in, even with a scanner. They kind of blend in with the terrain right there, and I didn't see those lurkers until they started coming out from underneath and doing their damage to those Marines. So beautiful play there. XellOs now kind of on the back foot, is kind of stuck now, and so that is another way that you can secure your third base as the Zerg player. Is that a Nidus? Tell me that's a Nidus. No, it's an Evo Chamber. So GoRush is able to secure his third base just by containing XellOs. Now, instead of defending his own bases, he's like, well, I'll just defend the whole map by camping right outside your base and do it that way. And now he is building a third base. I think his third base is complete somewhere. I still didn't see where it was. Is it the bottom right? Where is it? Another base being built at the top. Yeah, it is the bottom right. Okay. Another base at the top left as well. Now there is a little bit of a window here where GoRush has complete map control at this moment, and now he's gonna follow it up with some Zerglings too. Very nice. Because otherwise, you know, there comes to a point where once he gets a couple vessels out, XellOs could move out and theoretically break that containment and then start going out and killing those bases. If you've got Scourge to deal with the vessels, you've got more Zerglings there, you've got the Milas in play as well, you've got Overlords slowly running across the map for some reason, then, you know, you can keep that contain a little bit longer. And he does have Defiler tech coming. So if he can get Defilers there. What are these Overlords doing? Oh, he does have he has the Defilers out, but does he have Consume though? If he can get Consume and get Defilers, get Darkswarm down on top of those lurkers outside in that containment, then that will seal the contain for a lot longer, and I think GoRush can run away with this game. He doesn't quite get it though, and he's forced to fall back with those lurkers a little bit as the tanks siege up. Still significant lurker count though, but he's forcing him to move slowly and steadily back here. The tanks are in play, but there's Guardians over on the side as well. We saw that Greater Spire morphing, but I didn't notice that the Guardians were actually there as well. He's moving in with lurkers and lings. The Defilers are there. They do put down a Dark Swarm, maybe a little bit too late, but there's so many Zerglings, and the lurker actually gets in very close here. If he can get in one more Dark Swarm, he can get the lurkers on top of those bunkers and start picking at the defenses. The Guardians are kind of paving the way for this to happen. Oh, the Scourge! Oh, he pulls the Scourge back! Oh, he pulled the Scourge back from the Wraith, even though I think he was going to kill it. I think he kind of psyched himself out there. He was anticipating, okay, that's what's going on, is the slow Overlords are moving into a position that they can spot cloaked Wraiths for the Scourge. And he's just moving them slowly across the map rather than investing too much. He might be getting the speed upgrade at some point, but at least he's getting it started there. 1-1 upgrade for the Marines, by the way. We're going to have to see if we can see the Zergling upgrades, but 1-1 is very significant upgrade situation for the Marines in this game. So here come the Wraiths coming out. They're going to be able to attack. The Scourge are attacking the Wraith. The Marines attacking the Scourge. It's back and forth. Where's the Swarm? Where's the Dark Swarm? He needs Dark Swarm on the... No, there's no Dark Swarm. Where's the Defilers? Where's the Defilers, bro? Defilers in this situation make this completely different, and you know, those Hydralisks that were there could defend better. Dark Swarm would protect these lurkers a lot better, obviously. But I'm not sure why there was not a follow-up with additional Defilers here. It looks as if he's kind of like, almost like abandoned that contain and said, I'm just going to play the map instead. We're seeing XellOs' point of view right now. Of course. I mean, not like of course, but like you guys can see that too. We're seeing that he is aware of those two bases on the corners of the map, so he knows where his targets are if he wants to shut down the Zerg economy. But it looks like he's kind of moving just across the middle of the map instead. Just pushing the Zerg around, making him spend some time repositioning, making him use some Dark Swarms as well. And the Dark Swarms are going down. Beautiful Dark Swarms right on top of the units. The tanks as well. He gets into lurkers behind the line at the end of the Dark Swarm so they can kill the retreating Marines as well. Beautifully done. Absolutely beautifully done by GoRush. Just beautiful play. And he's got Sunkens to defend the bottom right base as well. I don't know if he has the same defenses in the top left base, but GoRush is actually playing this extremely effectively. Attacking Hydralisk uphill, not as effective, but he's got these static defenses in place to defend these side bases as well from these random side counterattacks. So GoRush is playing this really, really well. And it looks like, is he going to be able to get in here and kill off this base, though? Another colony morphs in, but it's a little bit too late, and so he is going to lose that base. So GoRush, you know, he had targets painted on those 2 expansions. 1 target's a hit, 1 is a miss. And I think that's still a good win for XellOs, though, because XellOs didn't lose anything for going after those expansions. He only gained the kill on the top left base. Picking up a dropship here. I wonder where this is going. He could be going for the main, actually. That would be a good spot to go to. Could be dropping behind the lines at the bottom right as well. That Wraith that he built earlier to take care of Guardians is now roaming around the map, getting free Overlord kills. Okay, where is this dropship going? Is he... It looks like he is going to circle around the map and go for the main, I think. I think that's where he's going to go. If he snipes some tech buildings or something like that, that could be very, very effective at this point. GoRush still only on 3 bases, by the way. He's just really not been able to keep up the 4 or 5 base economy that you need to really go crazy with the Zerg army. And here the VOD is screwing up a little bit. Again, apologies for that. I'm not in my control. He's doing a nice little drop here in the background. The drones are pulled pretty quickly. And actually... Oh, well, the main base doesn't have anything that important. He's going for the hatchery? A little bit surprising. Well, not that surprising, actually. But the spawning pool going down is going to be a nice boon as well. Looks like he's going to get both. Is he going to shift targets? No, he's not. He's going to go for that spawning pool. Very nicely done. He's even going to be able to get a few Hydralisks as well, since they seem to be fighting without their Zergling brethren. So some nice kills there, and he's actually getting kills in the middle map as well. And oh, beautiful play there. He actually got in a little bit close. Okay, these lurkers on the side are going to save the effort. Not effort the player, but save the effort of the Zerg. It looked like XellOs was about to just like mop up a bunch of stuff in the middle. The Dark Swarms in the bottom, the first Dark Swarms were not quite positioned well enough there to protect his units, but the second Dark Swarms from the side were, and the reinforcements were enough to push him back. So XellOs pushed back into the middle of the map, away from a threatening position. It looks like he was in a point where he was about to be able to start moving in and threatening the bottom right expansion bases, which right now is the lifeblood of the economy of GoRush right now. Is that plus 3 weapons? I think he's at 3-2 right now, or 3... Yeah, I think he's at 3-2. Only 1 Carapace on the Zerg units, so those Marines are doing significant damage to the Zerg army. Now, of course, if they've got a Dark Swarm above them, it doesn't matter at all. But without the Dark Swarm, these Terran units are going to absolutely obliterate the Zerg very, very quickly. Science vessels are massing up as well, by the way. XellOs looks to be in firm control of this game. Of course, we have seen firm grips become slippery in the past, and you know, the last game itself was kind of a back and forth match where things were penduluming between assured victory for both players. So anything could still happen here, but XellOs is looking extremely strong right now. Now, this is the point where in past games, GoRush has come out with a nice side force and done a drop and put lurkers behind expansions and all that, and guess what? He's not doing it this time. He's got none of that going on. He's lost all of his stuff in the middle, and he's just lost a ton of overlords. Those slow overlords that marched out into the map in order to detect cloaked raids were trying to slow crawl back into the main to safety, and they didn't quite get there in time. So now we've got a supply block Zerg. He does have Ultralisks. Look at this. He's got so many units. So many vessels. He's defense matrixing like several Marines. The Plague goes down. Dark Swarm goes down. That's everything that you need to kill Marines, and it's still not enough. The position is too strong, and the amount of follow-up units is not quite enough. The Ultralists can't quite get up that ramp alone. They need some Zerglings. They need some Lurkers in there as well. XellOs attacking every spot at the same time. He's in the natural, he's in the main, he's in the third. I don't think there is even a fourth base anymore in the bottom right base. So it looks like XellOs is going to take the third game. There's the GG. The haha. The it's a Korean character that means the kind of the H sound basically, and it's on the same spot as the keyboard where the G is on an English keyboard. So that's why you see him make the haha sound. It's not haha laughing. It's like hitting GG without changing your keyboard basically. So in any case, there's the GG from GoRush. XellOs is going to take game number 3. He's now ahead 2-1. 1 game away from victory. But guess what? GoRush is 2 games away from victory. He can still achieve victory as well. We'll see if he can do it in game number 4. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.